Hi, Taurians. If you'd like to come on in and have a seat for some symbolic support, my name is Steph. I'm glad you are here. I've created an ink blot made in your name and essence that we are going to scribe from one direction for shapes and symbols that may speak to our psyche and psychic senses. As well, we'll add on tarot and oracle. And where we have Mr. Ghost Gift is here kick in, as you heard. We have Ghost Tube for any audio additions that may further inspire or irritate. Overall, please do receive a release freely, Taurians. All right. When you're ready, you can absolutely start scrying for yourself, and please feel well to comment below any shapes or symbols that speak to you as your reflections do deepen the reading and resonance and inspire others. I'm going to take a moment to open up. Timestamps are below. Closing the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush. Activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support in the name and honor of the Taurian Collective. Taurus, thank you so much for being my muse, for holding space for me to share my insights and allowing me to be a guest in your aura. May you meet a message with meaning. All right, so I am seeing bears. I don't know if they're pulling a rope or there's like a safety harness. Because I feel like I'm scaffolding. That's the word. Sorry, I have some notes down here. You'll see them in just a moment. But I remember I put down the word building, but then I couldn't remember what the other word is. Scaffolding. And you know, like if you are maybe reaching new heights, doing something of heights. You know, I don't know. And like you have a harness. But I feel like you have a big bear that has got you while you're doing work on something, like on a tower, a connection, a heart, maybe even something about your ears, the way you hear things, the way you're heeding things. Taurians, even perhaps embracing listening to the sounds around you as music. See, because I even kind of like want to, like, maestro. It's like one of those things. Some of you might be doing like some fine detail work. I don't know if it's like welding or electrical or like maybe your doctors or anyway, I'm seeing the game operation, so it might be something along that lines. It feels okay. So operation has like that surgery feel plus electricity. It feels, I don't know. It feels. Thank you. Oh my goodness, I apologize, Taurians. Like a circuit. But there's something about the height at which this is happening. It doesn't have to be a physical height per se. For some, it's like an altitude of your awareness, maybe. Or your attitude. I don't know what it is. That's fine. So while you're also doing this work internally, and you have these bears holding you, grounding you, so that has the safety harness, or the bear symbology might mean something for you. Don't be so dramatic, Satan. Maybe it's just the fall, right? If you're worried that you might do something wrong or take that fall. Interesting. Okay. Sorry, I'm just going to bring this in for you because your little card, I don't know what these cards are actually called. My mom gave them to me, but it is a small thing to fall down. It would be silly not to get up again. And then your other card is, if you really want to change something, you must walk a new path. Taurians, but the feeling I'm getting is you're not just walking a new path. It's like a whole new altitude of something. Like you went up. There's a kiss happening up here. I feel like it's pharaohs.
Why are you here?
I'm also seeing piranhas in the negative space here. Piranhas. I feel like if I see this as a crown, these piranhas protect. It's like I have a moat around my crown chakra. Whatever hat you wear in hierarchy, or maybe even just your thoughts, your very high ideals, and you protect them fiercely. There's more work being done here. This is different work, so this feels like maybe third eye crown chakra-esque area, but wherever you're putting the work towards, like where it flows out of, maybe it's your job or relationship, money, manifestation, corporate, creative, platonic, romantic, all those channels are yours, but there is some sort of work being done on there. It feels godly. I'm not trying to give anyone a god complex, or maybe you have one, but it feels godly. Godly. But this feels like gold, like like an old, oh, there's a woman stepping forward to me. Hold on. Her word in her name or her title has like something like Baratress, or it's all, again, I'm in some time frame. I don't even know what culture I'm in. Baratress, or it's not a seamstress. I feel like she's a position in a household, but she's tough. Anyway, maybe that's your feminine energy. I'm sorry, Taurians, I kind of got off there. There's other work being done right here. And the way I'm seeing this conversation is whatever you're working or building in this space, which could be from the throat to maybe give or take to your solar plexus, possibly to the, no, solar plexus is fine. Even maybe just your throat and your heart. And I am asking for, if you've ever helped somebody who's, doing something. So here's the interesting part. The way I'm seeing it, I'm asking, or my husband's putting up a new ceiling fan. Let's just say one day it'll happen. But anyway, historically, we're changing a light fixture, not a bulb, a light fixture. And so there's altitude, right? The Taurian is up here doing some sort of work. There's another maybe version of your energy, your other chakra areas, whatever the case may be, apply what feels good. Masculine to feminine energy, and I'm sitting here holding, and it's like, hand me that screw so I can put it up here, or can you hand me this wrench, or hand me the screwdriver, and I'm ready to hand this. That's how I'm seeing it. It's like this hand is out reaching, saying, can you hand me this? Here's the irony. This hand is massive, ready to hand you whatever it is you need, because it's almost like it is, I don't know what hand it is. Maybe it's the holistic hand of your entire being, Taurians. Maybe it's the hand of the Hierophant, appreciating working with tradition in some way, shape, or form within the self, not by the confines of anything else, but also being very grateful that you have these other hands to help you. Maybe sometimes you might need to welcome receiving help to make something come into fruition faster, if you feel you have fallen. Because I also want to know, as I'm looking at this hand, it's changing on me to a very large ant head. So the ant symbology might mean something to you. Could be a spirit animal that you're working with. There's also magnets here. So it's almost like I feel like I'm working on a tower, but it's in my heart. Yeah, I'm quite confident it's in my heart space of what's being magnetized, but there's some work that's being done on my throat right now, quite specifically. When I come down into this root space, I'm seeing like a meditative person sitting cross-legged with their arms out and their head. And here's the funny thing, where that solar plexus start, okay, if I can imagine, the solar plexus is actually at the crown of my head, one above, maybe that soul star. So it's like the soul star chakra and your solar plexus interchange, or they're communicating right now. Open. And maybe you are feeling weak from some sort of fall, but that's quite silly to stay down over this fall. And if you really want something to change, you're the one who's going to walk the path. But maybe this starts with working on the Tower. I also saw in here drones. Something about drones. Sorry, I'm looking at my words. Getting a delivery, which is another, it's all altitude, which is funny because being an earth sign, but there's a lot of air. Maybe it's just air energy coming in, but altitudes of this. Things coming in by drones or different energies coming in with a communication maybe from the sky. Is that why the soul star chakra is coming through? Something along that lines. Okay, Taurians, if you're still here with me, let's dig into your shaman's palm for some more insights with tarot and oracle. You guys are amazing, fantastic, and I appreciate you guys. You so warm my haunted heart. Truly, truly, truly. We also have your dream card here that we will get into in a moment. All right, Taurians. Another set of eyes is opening up at me right there. And I'm seeing a mouth. It's almost like a clown a little bit. Maybe having a sense of humor along the way. If you're worried about something, Taurians, and you're just putting a smile on, like painting the smile on. It's like, no, but I'm worried about this. In your cave of ice is the Three of Wands. So they're pulling a rope. Okay, so I'm going to bring this up for you. See how he is pulling a rope? And we spoke about that in your scroll. This bear pulling a rope, but like the harness. Yes? I said that right? Yeah. But I'm angled. Lots of altitudes and angles. Do you either work with math, geometry? Maybe this is a language you understand. Something about architecture of attitudes and altitudes. And it's like almost like Taurians, you know, like the farther up you're going, the deeper your groundwork is. And maybe that's, you've been working on groundwork for a long time. And now you're starting to see or work on the details of the circuit up above. In your cave of winds and your cave of thoughts is the devil. And in your cave of hearth fires is the Six of Cups. You know the drill as well. If these tarot cards mean anything to you, follow that first versus my yammerings as I follow art first. But you already knew that. Okay. That came out with it. We'll take it. Taurus. All right. So in your cave of winds, there's something about, you might be working with Capricorn energy, of course. You might have at some point in time, Taurians, felt like you were split in two regarding something. This split, I feel like this split, if I'm being honest, was sold to me like you can get twice as much done. And I've realized that's not the case. No, it's not the case. So I'm coming back. I'm bringing those pieces back together. Yeah, that feels good. That feels good. It's like having a meeting or something like that. Some of you might be directors or you have groups, or maybe you go to therapy for something to help keep something in calibration with this circuitry that's going on, because something feels like the circuit's being upgraded. I want to note as well, as soon as I said that, was asked to remind someone about the star, maybe star seed, the soul star, and the solar plexus connection. When I come into the Six of Cups, sorry, excuse me, and that's making me feel like. It's like the solar plexus and the soul star chakra having this conversation of one. So where maybe even in your thoughts of separation or severing, they're coming back together. So you have almost like an X-Men and then the circle. But then I'm seeing like XOXO as well. So I feel like whatever you might have been going through internally, externally, jobs, this, that, or the other, all those channels are yours. It's like you had to split off for a second. It's almost like being a child of divorce, or being an adult going through a separation, and you feel split, right? Or your children, and you're bringing that understanding and as much as you can harmony to the situation to be like, everything's still okay. So everything is still one. It's just flowing a little bit differently. The circuit flows a little differently, but we're still one. Something about vultures is coming through as well, if the vulture means anything to you. Coming into your cave of rivers of how you're feeling is the Page of Wands. Oh, and there is a child in there. So this is the wind feeling, is the way I'm getting it. Just the way the cards depict it. The way the cards depicted. It's the wind feeling. Something's... It's like once all that air that we were talking about earlier up at the tower of the altitudes, it's really windy up there, but you can move through it really, really well because of your circuitry, because of the work that you've done to ground, and you know when to... And you have all these bears and different creatures helping you stay grounded and harness you. But you also know when you're like, okay, I need to go in and be on concrete, be on ground, go to the earth, walk around, and not be in both, right? Be holding on to this structure, and it's so windy. It's like you go inside every so often. Does that make sense? I'm not, because somehow it's like go inside and then also go outside. You know what to do. You know what to do. Then I also have here the Knight of Coins, which makes me feel like you're getting something in your cave of earth. Notably, the Lovers came out with it. And I want to note there's this something really special going on, Taurians. Now, it might be something in regards to your money. But then look at this card with the Lovers. And we were even talking about that earlier of you might have been split, or you're seeing something as separate, but really it is complementary versus competitive within the self, within something else. Maybe you are running away from something or running towards something. But nonetheless, it feels like some sort of earthly existence expression is coming together, and it feels really nice. Is this the drone? This might be what the drone's bringing in, whatever this pentacle is for you. Okay, sorry. So in your cave of hearth fires and in your cave of earth as well. Sorry if I'm all over with the cameras. Like, look how unified those are. Whether that's the relationship within yourself, your counterpart, your partner, your two children, your acknowledgement that you are an earthly being and an energetic being, or you have this ET existence that is also harmonizing, but you're exchanging something. There is something in there. This is what it is that you're being given. Maybe for some of you it is total love life, and that's great. But it's also, your love and lifestyle, what you love. And you've got the bar set at like godly, but it's good. It's good. It feels well. Ego's in check. Because drones can still deliver to you at this altitude. Taurians, let's dig into your psychology card, your dream and psychology card, and we'll check it out. Okay, so card number 33. If any symbols and shapes are standing out to you, look at, there's the meditating man. Oh my God. There's the meditating man. This dancing, I should probably cover those up. This dancing, like the Lovers. Okay, so let me just cover her up in case, Nudie. Okay, card 33, Taurians, let's take a look. As well, if anything stands out to you, absorption is the card, the psychology card that goes with it. It's an adversity card, also master number 33, if that means anything to you. We'll do this, see if I can share that. We're just going to cover up her bits. The stranger dances her deeper into the cavern's swirling waters, devouring empty and void. Absorption is when individual identity is devoured by forces which end it. The point of individual identity is the choice to resist archetypal forces or go within them to an ecstatic but mythical doom. Feeling inadequate, We may want the intensity of it identifying with an archetype, sacrificing any ability to fulfill ourselves as conscious human beings. The adversity of being taken over is the subtlest kind. Guard against it by committing to an integrated act that strengthens your being as you create with superior forces in a balanced way. Your task, Taurian, should you choose to accept, is to seek challenge from those who ground you in everyday life. I feel like we've been talking about this in one scope or another. Grounding you in everyday life, staying grounding, seek challenge. You are talking about the superior forces, that godly like. Also, this devouring is very much so in the devil's realm, right? And maybe you devoured a part of yourself, or, felt void of singularity or identity. Are you willing to step into your individual identity as one? And utilizing any archetypes that work to your advantage, but not to assume them and consume them. Because this is where I want to go. This is where... Also, somebody's like, you have some sort of angel or alien that comes in. It could even be for some a parent in spirit that they exchange information to you. I feel like I'm pulling something up from a well. And I think it's this. I think whatever that coin is. There's lots of love in your reading, Tauruses. Sorry, Taurians. Sorry, I gotta keep her. Something about pleasure and pain. Overindulgence as well. Being very, even like, overindulgence in drinking and eating. But then also realizing, you don't want to overindulge in staying in one altitude for too long and it being the dominant force. You have a lot of people watching you. I don't know what it is that you do. I don't want to say for a living. It's part of your living, but it may not be the only thing you do for a living. There's something shadowy about this lover's concept and something so beautiful about this lover's concept. This lover's card feels like friends. There's a connection that protects. This one feels like, I don't know if someone's like, almost like I feel in a creepy way, but you're here, so I appreciate that. Almost like if I was like half drunk or overeaten and somebody's like dragging me around to dance and I'm like a doll or something like that. Not quite Phantom of the Opera feel, but something else kind of in that line. Sorry, Taurians, hold on. Something in that area. And I don't want it to be like that. I don't want to have to drudge and drag an energy around, whether it's within myself or somebody else, and my partner, my business partner, even my kids. If it's like, okay, my kids don't want to, maybe you really love this one sport, but they don't. And you're like, okay, I'm not going to drag you to like the things I like. I respect that you've tried. Hopefully you know what I'm saying. Okay. Taurians, let's get ready to close out here. Because I feel like whatever you're absorbing is higher frequencies, but at the same time, the altitude of that, being very mindful to stay grounded. Your oracle cards are dice, gamble.
Buy me a coffee.
Oh, you can buy me a coffee. Thank you. Knowledge and healing. Who wrote the book of love? Okay, sorry, it was called to come out. Star Child, and we've been talking about that. The Book of Destiny. I feel like this is what you're working towards. You're already working in it. That Knight of Pentacles feel, the crystals healing. Maybe you are healing something, but you're collecting treasures that are It's like every time, like, you know, some people say like breadcrumbing, but yours is like crystal crumbing. And every time you find these little snippets of what a crystal might mean to you, or an experience that you have, or a person that you meet, or a conversation that you have, or a dream, or a memory, I feel like all of these things are things that you collect and put in your satchel.
Idiotic.
Oh my goodness. So cheeky sometimes. And maybe you feel like that's not a great way of looking at it, and that's fine. Release it. For others, I see it's like I'm gathering money to go gamble with, take a gamble on my destiny. What am I going to invest in? Of course, in any sort of gambling, being very mindful, because it's like that investment thing, right? Like take the gamble on yourself, absolutely. But also remaining responsible of putting in knowledge, putting in time to build, or at least have access to a database, so that you know what you're getting into. And I feel like from this architectural altitude thing, you're not getting too high on yourself where you're going to forget that. You're going to stay grounded, come back and talk to your family, your board, or whatever the case may be, your friends, your therapist, your lawyer, whoever it may be with. Because I feel like as I'm collecting things, I feel like I've taken a gamble. I feel like I'm going into a past tense all of a sudden. I already took a lot of gambles towards what I feel is destiny, like not because it's already fated or written, because that's what I'm choosing to discover or to have the experience of. And you have had many destinies along the way, and you will continue to have more and collect them like little treasures. We've talked about Star Child, and of course that's come up a few times in your reading, so hopefully that resonates for someone. As well, if you have children, you might have a star child specifically. They might speak or have really different kind of dreams. You have inward revolution and soul journey. We'll take one more for the Taurians, because this is what this has been. This destiny, this tower, this antenna, this building that you have created it. Oh my goodness, sorry, my bottle's in the way. Rude. This is what you've created. By going within, by doing all the circuitry, all the electrical, the plumbing, we can apply whatever analogies, but the whole process has been a journey for you.
I don't know.
Because now you're this altitude, like look how high up in the sky. Da-na-na-na-na. Is that reading rainbow, reading rainbow. I don't know. But then when I come into that, I said the Book of Destiny, reading rainbow. Because there's an elevation that, yeah. There's something within you that has made space, has created space. The circuits are, like the crystals, the circuits are coming into play. Everything's laid out where it needs to be. And now you're just placing these crystals and everything's going to light up. But it's also like Tesla vibes. Got Tesla vibes happening here. All right, Taurians, I am so grateful for you. You guys are amazing. I want to thank you so much if you've made it all the way through. I'll put the timestamps below so you can skip through or revisit what you'd like. Links are below to help Gal grow and all that kind of good stuff. And until next time, Taurians, thank you so much. You were my haunted heart, and I will see you again soon. Bye. High up in the sky. Da-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na. Take a look, it's in a book.
Holy water.
Reading rainbow. I love that.